Steve Campbell is a very soft-spoken person, as his comments illustrated. And when I mentioned that tuba players feared his name, there's a good reason for that. Steve Campbell dominated the finalist circuit for almost every tuba audition for about half a decade. And when he was offered the position in the Minnesota Orchestra, he was actually coming from Milwaukee. When he was offered that position, everyone, of course, waited in anticipation for the answer, and when he finally accepted it, there was a big sigh of relief in the tuba world that they would not have to compete in audition with such a fine player, at least not anytime soon. It is our duty here as faculty to bring the finest players here to work with our students, and that's what we're about to do right now. There is an art to playing for audiences, there's an art to playing for audition committees, and there's a magic to learning how to do both at the same time. And Steve Campbell has mastered that art, and he's going to share it with us tonight with some of the students here at Lynn University. We have 3 students who are going to play for him. The first student tonight is from Ohio. He is a master's student, and his name is Zaid Nahas. You can come to the stage. The second student who will be playing is a sophomore student from down here in Florida, and his name is Billy Ruckert. And the third student of the evening hails from New York. His name is Julio Cruz. And I know a lot of you students out there are trying to find the secret to winning auditions and the secret to being the best player that you can be. The bad news is that there is no fast way to do it. The good news is that the more you listen, both to playing and what great players have to say, the closer you are to reaching that goal. So with no further ado, Mr. Steve Campbell.
While we get set up here, I guess I'll just say a few words. Ken's very nice about the whole audition thing. I didn't feel on top of the world when I was banging on the door, almost getting into orchestras. I felt like throwing the tuba out the window many times. But at the same time, one good thing I got from going from audition to audition was I learned to accept that, okay, maybe I didn't get the job, but I worked my butt off, and I had to get better in some way. Something got better. I may not know what it is right now, but something got better. So just try to sit on that and say, okay, yeah, I am getting better. I'm getting better as a player, and take the positives from it, because it's so easy to feel like, oh, I didn't get the job. I stink and I can't do it. So I might as well just do something else. But persistence is the key. If you really want to do it, you just have to be willing to get knocked down a few times. Get back up. But all right, so Zaid, right?
Yes.
Good. What do you have for me?
I have 4 excerpts.
Okay.
Hungarian March, The Ride, Petrushka, there, so, and Symphonic Men.
Okay. Did you have a specific order that you wanted to play those in? Or?
That's the order.
That's the order. Okay. All right. That's very. Wow, you're being mean to yourself. But that's good. That's good. No, whenever I get an audition list, I would number them, and I'd put all the numbers in a bowl, and I'd pull them out, whatever order it was, however absurd it turned out to be. I'd play it, leading up to the audition, and it really made a difference. And so that's good. Why don't we get started? Do you want to play this like a round, like an audition, or do you want to just play and then I'll talk?
Sure. Play and talk.
Play and talk. Okay. Cool. Play Hungarian March. Okay. First. Yeah, please. do you listen to recordings of this?
Yes.
Do you have several recordings? Yeah, one thing I really, I always hear in my head, what are you thinking before you start this? Yeah, but to get into it, I always start thinking, the woodwinds, the strings, just to kind of get into the groove, and then you go and you just, it's so much better if you just really kind of get yourself in the mood. And so, thinking of the trumpet line, that's good. What I always try to find some sort of key to get myself. So going from Berlioz to Hindemith to Gershwin, so it's something to try to make a distinction between the different genres, the different composers in different times. So just to take your time, because when you're doing an audition, it always feels like 30 seconds feels like 5 minutes. So be willing to take a little bit more time. And it was good, the way you concentrated, and I saw you took a little bit of a breath before you took your preparatory breath. That's good. Be willing to take a bigger one. Get rid of any of that stagnant air. So you have, and that's more important with the tuba than a lot of other instruments. But and depending on the piece too, if you're about to play fountains or the symphonic metamorphosis, just get rid of that air that's just sitting there. That's sitting in your lungs right now as you're listening to me. That air that's being used. Okay, now to the piece. You play it very well. I'd like to hear a little bit more ping, a little bit. The downbeats. Da da dee, not da da da. Da da dee, da 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 dee, ba ba bee, ba ba. And then when you get the dun da da dun, don't accent the D's. Dun da da dun da da dun dun dun. The C's, the D's are, just because they're higher, they want to come out louder, so you have to take that into consideration. Dun da da dun da da dun 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 da da dun da da dun dun dun. And I always accent dun da da dun da da dun bam ba 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 ba, going back to what happens at the beginning of the tune when the orchestra's playing, when you're not playing. Would you try that again for me, and just try to just think of a little bit more fire in the articulation, if that makes any sense at all.
Okay.
But now, sustain. You start that arpeggio in the beginning. You're ba 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 da da. You got to keep that intensity up, okay? And if you think, well, if I keep that up, I feel like it might be kind of on the edge of cracking some notes or whatever. So maybe you can take, for auditions, you're kind of in control of the dynamics, right? So if they want you to play it louder, they'll ask you to play it louder. So you could take that arpeggio and play it just down a little bit. Keep the energy. You can play softer but with an intensity, right? So if you can take that down and have that match what you're going to be doing, maybe bring the upper da da dee da 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 da, bring that up a little bit, and bring the arpeggio down a little bit so it actually leads into the tune. You just start it for me. You don't play the whole thing. I don't want you to blow your chops up. sounds really good. Now the only thing is when you get to da 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 da. Now I was talking about how certain notes kind of jut out. Make sure you're aware of exactly what's happening there, and that goes back with do you record yourself? Yeah, record yourself, listen to yourself, because sometimes you think you're doing something, or you think you're not doing something, and you're doing something. So you think you're doing something, and you're not. So it rattles your brain. That's why tuba players are always a little bit. I'll admit it. Anyway, yeah. So dun da da dun da da dun dun da dun da da dun, and it's not necessarily accents, jump intensity either. Jump ba ba bum ba ba bum bum ba lum ba ba bum ba ba bum, and it's just getting louder and getting louder and getting louder. Okay. Cool. Why don't we move on? Because we can talk about this all day. But the articulation, you almost can't be too clean, too clear on this piece. Let me actually, before we move on, let me just see if I can explain that. See what I mean? You gotta, whatever dynamic you're at, and then you just carry it to the next level. It's all one level, and it moves up to another level. Keep that intensity. Don't drop down. It's easy to lose a little bit of steam, but you gotta. This one, it's always kind of just always pushing.